and welcome to another episode of Bare Bones Wargaming, a show with no frills, no bells, no whistles, just a man, a camera, and his game. Now today, I'm going to be doing another play of A Wing and a Prayer, Bombing the Reich by Lock and Load Games. I started to make some before, some of you may have seen it. I left the original one up just as an idea of play. But I was making a really bad mistake with the flak. I thought the flak hits were only on a 6. They're actually a 5 or 6. So, going to go ahead and make a better video, as it were, and start by doing that here with a new mission. I'm working on the 1944 campaign, the extended campaign, which begins in late 43 on box number 10 here, and flies for 15 missions. And right now, I'm pretty deep into this, and I'm in deep trouble as well, too. So let me show you the strategic situation. First of all, I've got my formation ready here to fly, but as you can see, I'm missing a bomber in the 9 slot. That's because over here, if you look, I have a bunch of B-17s and even more crews that are not ready. I've got a major problem on my hands. I've already started this mission because I'm missing a bomber with a -1 victory point, which of course is given here for the mission victory points, and I'm down to only 3 campaign points. Now this campaign actually started for me well. You can see here just some rough notes I've made. I blasted Emden and Antwerp, and then since then, I even lost a turn number 4 here, from the V2 rocket attack. So one of the things I like about this game is you can make the record keeping as simple or as difficult as you want. I prefer to keep it simpler just because that's just my style, that's all. I don't see this as much of a narrative game as some other games in this field, like say the Hunters or Target for Today and stuff. So, ready to fly, ready to limp perhaps is a good way to put it, to our target. So let's just get going, and again, my videos are just submersive. I go over the rules as I need them. So first of all, here's our setup. We got our target card. We're going to Hanover. It's worth 10 victory points, but notice there's no light damage. This is one of those ones that's all or nothing. 9 bombers. Well, I'm missing one. And 6 fighters. Unfortunately for me, I have the Cadillac of the skies, P-51, hanging out with me there. We'll talk more about those top numbers later on. So we're winging our way from our base here in England over here to the marshalling yards at Hanover. So we're all set with all of that. The weather is clear, so that's good news. That's one of the things that's very vexing about this campaign for me right now, too, is that I have had clear weather on almost every single bombing run, and I still cannot seem to blast the targets. I've seen comments on Board Game Geek about people saying that this game's too easy. Either they are really good at their die rolls and I'm really epically horrific, or we're playing a different game, because I can't figure that one out for the life of me. So let's go ahead and let's just roll along here. So let's go. Moving a bomber out over the water. And in the game you can take any route that you want, so long as they're black lines that connect to the different boxes. So I'm going to stay out over water as long as I can. So probably my plan is I'm going to hang out all the way over to here, come down from Emden, and then fly to Hanover that way. So we moved. Now, there's other things to do here, and I have like quick little verbal things that I do, because one of the things about playing a solo game is you don't want to forget steps. So you'll hear me just say a few words, and again, when we get to the point where I need those rules, I'll go over them in more depth. So we moved. So there's no lead, no loose, no damage. Escort fighters, they just took to the skies with us, so we keep track of them here on this track, and everyone has a maximum where our little friends wave bye-bye to us and go home, but with the P-51, they got a heck of a range, so we have to worry about that. There's no flak in this situation, and then formation event. Check. Rolling 2 dice, it comes up to an 8. Right now we're in the range of 2 to 4, so nothing to worry about there. So on we go. So on to our second box. So we've moved. No lead, no loose, no damage. Fighters are cruising along with us. There is no flak to concern ourselves with. And the event, it's a 10. So again, nothing doing there. So we continue to wing our way across the North Sea. So no lead, no loose, no damage. Fighters are cruising right along with our big old B-17 formation. No flak. So formation event. This time I rolled a 2. So now we need to consult the formation event card. chart, I think is where I was really trying to get that. We are 3 boxes out, and that's this one here. So 3 boxes out, instant 11. Oh, enemy fighters. Here we go, boys and girls. Everybody buckle up and get ready. Or as Betty Davis said, fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night. Although the 8th Air Force, of course, did daylight rating. But anyway, you get the point. So here we go. So now we got to find out how many German fighters and what kind. So it's 1944. Woo! This is going to get sporty. Real quick here, this is going to get sporty. We rolled a 6 for German fighters. That is the Me-262. Oh, and not only that, we rolled a 5 for quantity. So we have 5 Me-262s to deal with. As if my formation, my squadron, needed something even worse to deal with here. So we put them up here in the Interceptor box, and I'll show you that here with the camera in just a minute. And now my fighters can engage them, or I can hold them back to protect. Now, since this is 1944, I will definitely be engaging, because if you know anything about the history of the air war with the U.S., at first they did hold the fighters back just to protect, but once they started doing more of the hunting tactics, they actually were having greater success at defeating the Luftwaffe. And with die rolls that are like a second and first die roll, I have a little red-white combo I use here. So, like I said, just red and white. Red is the number telling me which kind of fighters, and then white is how many. So 5 Me-262s. Now we're going to find out just how many of these jet fighters have whole ace pilots. So we check the ace pilot table. There are 5 of them, and I rolled a 6, so there are 3 aces. Whew, how am I going to deal with this? Wow. Okay, now I got a big decision to make. I've only got 1 ace. But the performance rating is a 5. I'll get into that in a second about things. I know I'm thinking about things out loud here. So would I be better just to have, maybe I would be better off just to have my fighters try to protect some of my bombers and give them some extra points here, because goodness, is this going to be ugly. Trying to catch these guys is going to be almost impossible. Wow. Okay. Decisions. You know what? Just to show you the air-to-air combat, I am going to send one of my pilots up to engage and send a wingman for support, so you can see the rules and see how it works. 'Cause, I mean, really, that's the point of this video, is to show you how everything works. And I'm going to hold the others back and actually use them as escorts, because then they give modifiers whenever there's escort. So let's move over here to the formation card. So as you can see up here, we have the Me-262 stretched out, and I have the 2 P-51s that are going to engage. One of the Me-262s is not an ace, because I've got 3 of them that are aces. That's just wrong, man. That's just bad. Now down here, I'm saving the others. Actually, you know what? I have to double check something here, because there is a die roll for how aggressive your pilots are. So let me double check that I don't have to send up another plane. So I had 6 of them all together. 3. I do have to send up 1 more. Sugar. Okay. I'll send, wow. You know what? I will send up, now after you commit however many the table says you have to with your aggressive pilots, you can commit however many more you want to. So let's look at this again. So since I have to commit at least 3, I'm going to go ahead and send a wingman up with the other one, because taking on these Me-262s without a wingman is almost suicidal. So I'll go ahead and do that, leaving me with 2 fighters here, and I can assign those for protection, and we'll do that here in a little bit. Obviously, I'm going to assign them protection up here to the lead bomber, because the lead bomber, number 1 bomber in the lead element, those are the guys that are leading the bomb run, and you need them to get the best possible attack formation. Of course, no guarantee you're going to hit anything, which is my hard luck problem, but anyway, moving along. So, here we go. So let's do these fighter-to-fighter combats here. So, first thing you do is fighter-to-fighter combat, figure out who has the upper hand. You compare the performance numbers. The performance number of these white ones here. So as you can see here with the, let me go ahead and bring it up a little bit closer. The ME-262, the 5 is the performance number, 6 is attack, and 3, the green, is structure, which is used here in a few minutes. So, probably less than that actually. So, they have a performance rating of 5. Now, the P-51s have a 4, but my ace has a +1, making it 5. Now, if there's a tie, it is simultaneous combat. So, we'll go ahead and attack first. So, my P-51 is zooming in with an attacking value of 5. The ME-262 has a structure of 3, so that's +2. And then over here, on the card, you have a whole list of modifiers. And again, for those of you who have played like Target for Today, this game is very much structured the same way. It's lots of things going on, you know, minimal decisions to do, because again, how many decisions can you possibly make as a squadron commander sitting in England, you know, maybe listening to all this chatter over the radio and stuff? Not much, let's be honest. So, we're engaging. So, my guy has +2 already, but he gets +1 because he has a wingman, so now we're up to +3. And his combat rating, because he's an ace, gives him 2 more. So that's +5 to the die roll. So here we go. 9 and 5. Oh yeah. 9 and 5 is 14. And why am I saying oh yeah? Let me show you. See, 13 plus. The fighter is destroyed. Nice job. And that's going to be good for us on victory points too, by the way. So, blew him out of the sky. But, since they were tied for initiative, combat is simultaneous. So now we compare the ME-262's yellow number, which is a 6, with the P-51 defense, which is a 2. Woohoo! That's +4. Yikes, 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 yikes. Whew. So even with a wingman, it makes this difficult. So +4. That's without any aces. Wow. Here we go. 9. Oh no. And 4 is 13. So, they both were blown out of the sky. So I lost my ace. They lost an ME-262. Now we come over here, tabulate some victory points here. Now notice, for every 262, we get 2 victory points. So yay, that took us back up to +1 from our -1 to start. But we lost an escort, so we're back to 0. So I guess the good news is we're back on an even balance. Unfortunately, we're short a fighter pilot. Now, the second air-to-air combat is going to be more difficult here, because even with the wingman, I'm going to have trouble because the ME-262 has the initiative. So this, yeah, this is, whew. ME-262s are definitely the most dreaded planes you can encounter in this game. So, he has a 6 versus a 2. That's +4. Ouch. 12 and 4 is 16. He blew it right out of the sky. Whew. All right. And wingman, if you're wondering about that, cannot engage. They're the wingman, so that's down to -1. All right, now I can decide on a second round of combat. I'm obviously not going to do it. Clearly, my P-51s are overmatched. Now, the 2 P-51s that were up doing fighter interception, they're over here. They can't help the bombers. I still have 2 left that I can assign to protect my bombers. So, bottom line, we got a lot of trouble. Now, when you assign the fighters, you basically, again, you're using charts, and you use 2 different charts. Again, I use my red-white method. So, I rolled a 5 with my first number, and we look over here, and you have 3 elements, and a 5 says you're going after the low one, and you're going after the left plane, the white one. So, low and left for this first one here. So that's where he'll go. The next one is going to go, oh, if you can believe this, he's going to exactly the same place. Ouch. Oh boy, that bomber is going to be in big, big, big trouble. Let's see, let's find out the other 2 ME-262s, and then I'll assign my escort fighters. So, let's see, high and left. So these guys are coming in there, or that guy, I should say. And last but not least of the ME-262s, 2, that's lead. Oh, he's going right after the lead bomber. Oh, trying to make sure the bombing run is not a success. Look at those clever buggers. Look at this. So they're going after the lead elements, trying to blast things out of the sky, and these poor guys have been jumped on over here. Now, the last thing I can do, and I'm going to do it quickly here, because again, I like to keep my videos about 15 minutes. That's usually a good length of time. I can assign up to 4 fighter escorts per element. So I'm going to take the 2 that did not engage, and I'm going to assign them to try and help these bombers in the lead formation. So that is where we are, high above the North Sea, with ME-262s breathing down our neck, and that is where we'll end this particular episode. So I'll come back to you later again. We'll pick up with this air combat and jumping on the B-17s, and we'll go through that kind of aerial combat to show you again how the game works. So this is Tim Korchnoi for Bare Bones Wargaming, saying we'll see you again next time. Keep your fingers crossed for my boys high above the North Sea, because we are in big trouble. Or you could say we're up on sanitary waters without proper means of propelling ourselves forward. We're going to need some luck. See you then.